What's good, everyone? It's your boy Santo G, back at it. You already know, spreading unity, prosperity, and respect. Above all, if you're new here, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell. That way you're notified when I drop future content. So today, I just wanted to talk about the daily struggles of being in prison, man. The stuff that we go through, what goes through our minds. Pretty much the stuff that nobody talks about, that nobody has the heart or the guts to even say that they go through, man. Today, I'm going to be real, raw, and uncut with you guys, man. I'm not going to lie, just thinking about it has your boy a little nervous, but you know what? That's the beautiful thing about my channel. What sets me from all the other channels, man, is that we don't fake the funk around here, man. We say shit how it is, and that way anybody watching this, if you guys been there, man, you guys could feel me. And for those, y'all don't want to be in there, so y'all don't have to ever feel what I'm feeling, what I went through. Even now, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about some of the situations that I done been through, that I done put my family through, so on and so forth, man. There's been times that I remember my wife, till this day, whenever she drives in the rain, she panics. She told me about a time when she went to go visit me in Centinela. On the way back, it started raining so bad that she couldn't even see the road, man. She said that she had to pull over, wait a little bit, and then good thing that my 17-year-old man had a good eyesight and was able to guide her. You know what I mean? And this is all real stuff. Like, if I'm lying, I'm dying. And you don't know how many families have went to go visit somebody and then on the way back get into an accident. Honestly, one of the first times that my wife actually went to go see me with the kids, she got into an accident. She was on the highway coming back by the Grapevine. She had went to go see me in New Corcoran in Sare. She was driving and her back tire popped. Her truck spun out and she ended up hitting a pole. She had to call a tow truck to come help her. They changed the tire, so on and so forth, man. Pretty soon, with the next paycheck, I'ma start a podcast, and me and my wife gonna sit down, and she's gonna pretty much say how it was of her side of things, how it was, how the COs used to treat them, going to see us, how dangerous things were, just how she felt, certain situations that I put her through, so on and so forth, man. You guys are hearing about us little by little. More homies and more prison channels are starting to come out, so you guys are hearing our experiences. But I think you guys would like to hear a different side of things, so stay tuned for that coming soon, man. It's gonna be mine and her podcast coming soon, man. You know what I mean? I told her, look, even if you don't want to be on camera, you could do with your mic on. I'm right here, and you know what I mean? You guys could hear her, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's how we gonna do it. But as far as being in prison, man, I want to say I already spoke on how when I first got busted in juvenile hall, man, I was like, man, like, God, please, let me wake up. Once I got comfortable and, you know what I mean, stuff like that, I ended up in Silmar with my homeboy Little Triste. He ended up lacing me up, and I ended up with a couple of other solid homies, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie Shadow from Latin Times Pacoima. Shout out to the homie Green Eyes from Latin Times as well. Who else was right there? Shout out to the homie Little One from Langdon, you know what I mean? He ended up getting like 20 something years. So a couple of other homies, you know what I mean? Shout out to the homie Violent from AP. Shout out to the homie Dumbo from Palmas. Even though we ended up getting down, you know what I mean? That fool ended up trying to take my shoes, and I ended up fighting him. He was a little bully, and in juvenile hall, you leave your shoes outside of the cell. So I ended up getting like, they brought food. I had a whole little party for my 17th birthday party. I ended up having a whole little food and stuff like that, and I got no shoes. I left my shoes outside my door, and that took him. He like, hey, if you want a bag, we don't have to get down. So we ended up going out for dinner. I didn't even eat. Right there, sitting down, put it back, went, boop, 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 boop. Ended up flighting him. He ended up giving my shoes back. You know what I mean? He gave me my respect. So shout out that fool. But so once I got comfortable, man, right there in Silmar, man, it was pretty cool. I actually want to share a picture with you guys, man. I already shared it in the community post, but if you guys haven't seen the community tab, I'm going to put it right here. That's a picture of me on my 18th birthday in Silmar Juvenile Hall. You know what I mean? Young Santo G right there. But once I got comfortable right there, I pretty much liked it. I'm not going to lie. Then going from there to county was something different. I'm not going to lie. When I got to county, I went from having to fight people to now I'm chilling with my enemies. Can't fight no more. My homeboy Chino was there with the homie Dreamer from Los Nietos Rifa. Shout out Los Nietos. And I remember they would play dissing each other's hoods. And I almost took flight on the homie Dreamer the first time I met him, because the homie ended up dissing each other. And he said, woo woo. And the homie had a homie back, like, hey, fool, chill. Like, we just playing, fool, like, relax. So those were their own little journeys, you know what I mean? Then when I got sent to Chino, like I said, I was scared. I was nervous and everything. And then hearing the homie Shaggy, the homie Necio, and the homie Spy, hearing them say my name, man, it just brightened me up, man. Like, you don't even know. It just brightened me up. And that kind of helped me. I want to say, like, my stressful times, the most stressful times that I ever had started once I ended up leaving all the way to Oklahoma. Once I got to Oklahoma, because Arizona was still like, okay, you know what, I'm like 7 hours. It was still okay, maybe I'll get visits, Even Wasco, when I went from Chino to Wasco, I was still like, all right, cool. Then from Wasco to Arizona, I was a little. Then once I got sent to Oklahoma, man, it was like, man, it's not like if I could have a relationship, you know what I mean? Like, it's way out. I'm way the fuck over there. It's not like my people are gonna visit me. So I got the mentality like, man, it's just me, I ended up getting selfish. And I ended up having to, like, a part of me, little by little, ended up just dying, It just ended up just dying and just getting numb. Being all the way out there. And like I said, I was out there in Oklahoma for 4 years. So 4 years of cell living, the only thing that helped us as far as out there was that we had cable TV, we were able to have Xboxes, and they would put movies. I believe every week they showed like 3 or 4 different movies. They had a movie channel. They would put new movies and stuff like that. So it kind of helped the cell living and stuff like that. But I want to say that I didn't really start messing up and stuff like that till I ended up coming back to California. Because I ended up dropping points. The whole time I was out of state, I didn't even get no write-ups. You know what I mean? I believe the only write-up I ended up getting was for like some black and white pornos. And I believe that's it. I just ended up getting that one write-up being out of state. We were on lockdown for so long. We would come out, little stuff would happen, we'll go on lockdown. Then the riot happened, we went on lockdown for like a whole nother like year, And people actually started suing because it was inhumane what they were doing to us, having us locked down for that long period in time. So points dropped, point system changes, they ended up opening the CCFs. And as far as Shafter, it was a CCF, but it wasn't like these other CCFs that other people make it seem. Like it didn't have no secure fence or nothing. Shafter CCF, look it up. It actually has a big old brick wall and it has an electric fence. Because a lot of us, the people that got sent there, were P-coded. P-code means that you have a violent offense, even though your points go down, you're still P-coded. That means that you cannot go to camp, you can't go to any facility that don't have that electric fence. That's not a secure facility, you know what I mean? I know somebody was trying to blab their mouth talking about that the CCF or whatever was something else. I ain't never been to anything that don't have a secure fence because I'm P-coded because of my attempted murder case. You know what I mean? You could look it up. Anybody that's ever had a violent offense, especially me, a 2-striker, they're not going to let me go below a level 2. And if they do, it has to be a level 1 with a secure fence around it. No ifs, ands, or buts. There's no way around it. Believe me, I wish I could. More leniency, more free time for me. I actually wanted to go to fire camp and stuff like that, you know? But I was never allowed to. So, once I ended up going there, it seemed like everything was just too easy to grasp. You know what I mean? Like I said, I only lasted 2 months at that CCF. Right there was cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was cool. I was getting visits. Think about it. I was out of state for 4 years. So once I came back and I was right there at the Shafter CCF, I was getting visits. I was actually, how can I say this? I was getting visits, and right there in Shafter was so cool that people were out there like literally getting their full Mac on, talking about everything. Like the COs right there were cool, man. Like I don't want to disclose much, but they were cool. That's all I could say. So, boom, not even 2 months, I end up catching that knife case. I go to ASU, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I was stressed out. I was stressed out. I was already getting visits, had a little breezy on the team, stuff like that. And, you know what I mean? Because of that whole situation, that whole little breezy that I had ended up just like, hey, you know what? I can't do this. One day to the next, just stopped answering the phone. Bullshit aside. And then, once I got kicked out, I ended up started getting into the mix. Ended up started doing a little bit of caldito here, little caldito there. Next thing you know, man, I was a full-blown addict. I'm not even gonna lie, man. It went from me just being there, never ever trying any kind of hard drugs ever in my life. Just smoke bud. And because I was going through some changes as far as one day I'm getting visits, getting packages, everything's good. Then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? It just like, so I tried numbing myself. Now, you know what I mean? Motherfucker got an addiction. So start going through all kinds of wars right there. Then end up in F yard. Go to F yard. End up right there. Everything's still good. Go through some wars right there. And I want to say that it didn't take until a little before I ended up going home that I started thinking like, fuck, you know what I mean? I gotta start changing my ways, you know? The way that I am right now, just selfish, thinking about myself. I was already numb, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, man, you gotta start shaping, you know? You gotta start viewing things different, stuff like that. And like I said, right before, well, not right before, my wife did the last 3 years with me. She's honestly the one that got me out of that rut that I was in, you know? Because for a while, my mentality was just, I want to be the biggest, baddest person, and I want to just climb the ladder. You know, that was my mentality. I was just getting high. Just my mentality, my whole life was in there. You know, it took me meeting my wife, her showing me a different part of things. It seemed like she healed me, bro, you know, for lack of better words. And you know what I mean? Ended up getting out. Only lasted 2 months, came back in for another 2 years, and doing time, having kids, that's what ended up changing me. Like, you know what? I need to change, man. You know? I need to change the way I'm going. It's not the business. And that's a little rough draft of me, my mentality, and what I went through, man. You know, I know it was a little all over the place. I can't wait to get all the equipment, so I'm right here going back and forth with you guys. She's telling her story, I'm telling my story, and then you guys are in the comments, man, just letting us know what you want us to touch on a little bit more in depth, man. But it's your boy Santo G, real, raw, uncut. This is just the daily struggles, what will go on in my head, certain times when I was going through these different facilities, you know what I mean? And just having to adapt to everything. Because, like I said, man, I was telling my wife the other day, man, when I got busted, it's not like if I was this hardened criminal and, you know what I mean, I just didn't care. And it wasn't, you know? I was a lost little boy that ended up taking a route and just had to adapt in the certain facilities and certain environments that I was placed in. You know, it made me the man that I am now. And that's why I talk what I talk and I preach what I preach, man, because I come from somewhere that's real. You know what I mean? And it can take your life. A lot of people lost their lives to either prison or the streets. And if maybe hearing my story, me sharing my testimony can help someone, man, then so be it, man. Let's get it. Unity, prosperity, and respect. Above all, it's your boy Santo G, man. Real, raw, and uncut. Sponsored by Killer Kush and sponsored by Cali. Let's get it.